Hello, welcome to Mr. Daddy Duties. We are back. I should say I'm back. But I decided to bring along some people to me so that I can introduce them. And we won't be too long today. I'll make it short because my wife was very shady in my last vlog, indicating that it was too long. Bless you. But I wanted to bring them on today so that I can actually introduce them to all of the people who have been supporting me thus far. Introducing Mr. Matthew Gamble II, the reason why Mr. Daddy Duties was actually even started in the first place. And then, of course, I introduced you all to Levi. Have a seat here. I introduced you all to Levi in the last vlog. And today, I wanted to introduce you all to my queen, my heartbeat, the lady who deals with all of my madness day in and day out, the lovely Mrs. C.G. Gamble herself, Miss Extraordinaire. Hi. So you say hello to the people. So, last week I gave you a bit of an update about everything that had been going on since I wrote my last blog. And today, I wanted to, one, introduce my family, but two, also bring my wife into the fold so that I can ask a few questions of her and you can actually hear her response. So, CJ and I have been married for 9 years. It'll be 10 years together in October when we first started courting. And so we've been on a long journey, almost a decade this year, that we've been rocking together and having fun and enjoying life and all the ups and downs of that marriage bring. But more importantly, our ultimate goal is to make sure that we are staying friends. So we just got back a little while ago from a date, a much needed date, thanks to my sister-in-law who comes over just about every Friday now since we've had the baby so that we can actually go out and have some time and connect. She said last night, we need to connect. So it's extremely important to us to make sure that we're actually doing that. But I wanted to bring her in today to specifically talk to her and ask her questions about me when I first started blogging. So we've been married, like I said before, for 9 years. And I remember when, you can look at me and stop looking at my screen. She's reading my questions. I remember when I first went on leave. Not even on leave, excuse me. When I quit my job 2 days before our son was due. So it was Halloween. I worked in the mental health field and I was mandated. For those of you who have ever worked at a job, an employer where you're mandated, you already know it. I'm not even going to get into it. But I was mandated on Halloween. No big deal that it was Halloween. We were intending on taking our goddaughters out and about, but no big deal. But I had to deal with a crazy patient, or a sick patient, excuse me, who decided that day to spit in my face. And I was probably already at my wit's end as it is. I had been there for 4.5 years and I knew that it was definitely time for me to go. But I was afraid to leave. And the reason why I was afraid to leave is because my dependence was in my employer and what my employer was providing, which is my ability to be able to actually take care of my family, especially with the newborn coming. So earlier that year, I had been attacked, first time in 4.5 years, and I didn't leave. I went back to work after a week and had suffered a mild concussion. But this time I was like, I can't do it anymore. I've been there almost 5 years. It's time to go. I guess this is my only opportunity to be able to do so. So called my wife after I got spat in the face, and she was like, she's a therapist, but she's also wise. Thank God for her. And she says, if you feel that this job is going to jeopardize your life and your livelihood, then you need to leave. And so that was my okay during that moment that I could go. It's okay. Everything is going to be okay. Not even knowing what was going to happen, not even having any plans set in stone. And so I left the day, literally once my son was born, I never went back, just say it that way. I was off of work with her for 4 weeks. so that I could provide her emotional support and help her throughout the process. First time having a baby, so we definitely knew that we needed plenty of support. And then I went back to work and worked a temp job for a few weeks until it was time for her to go back to work. And that's when we made the decision for me to stay home. Leading up to that decision, I had begun to do a little bit of research on blogging. And I remember telling her, I think I'm going to decide to blog. What do you think about me blogging? And she gave me this she got real quiet. She was like, you still go look for a job, right? And I was like, dang, she just shot down my dreams because I've been reading all this stuff about how people can make a lot of money blogging. So I'm going to just blog, and that's going to be my livelihood. I'm going to make a lot of money. Lo and behold, that didn't work out. But I was like, dang, like, she's still going to make me look for a job even though I'm a blogger? Yeah. So I knew then, I was like, well, I guess I got to go find a job. I can't be a blogger. But all in all, I ended up staying home, and that is when I was first introduced, or where I first launched Mr.Daddy duties with the help of that little one who I just introduced you all to. So my first question for my wife is to tell the people, I guess I've already answered that, we've already answered that, but give your take on when I told you that I was deciding to be a blogger after it was time for you to go back to work.
What I said was correct. I used to still look for a job because I know that it takes time. So I don't. There are overnight successes, but that's not always the case. And so I'm a woman about having income streams, and in addition to that, I'm a woman about making sure that you provide for the family. So
I guess what she was pretty much saying is that if I'm at work, you go work too.
Well, what I was saying is, if I didn't express it, the intention was blog and bring in income, because I know that it takes time. So
I can dig that. My next question is, did you have any reservations with me blogging and being a stay-at-home dad? And if so, what were they?
Not being a stay-at-home dad, because I knew that it was best for our current situation. So I knew that it was best for our family finances for me to go back to work full-time and you to finish your degree. So I knew stay-at-home was best for our family, for you to be a stay-at-home dad. As far as blogging, any reservations, I'm a private person. So I'm a private person.
But it was good for you to actually read what I was reading, right?
I loved your blog.
Super comical. I remember my very first blog. I was real rough in writing, but she kind of helped me with editing, and I improved over the years. But
I remember the first blog, or it was nearly the first blog, talked about your first day full time at home with the kids, and it was a paying homage to me. And just stay-at-home parents in general, about not knowing how much was put into it.
I don't. I'm like, you're at home with a newborn, right?
Mom! I saw something.
You're at home with a newborn, so you're like, I'm at home with a newborn. I'm not really going to have to do too much of anything.
Okay, just a second, sweetie.
And lo and behold, he fooled me. As you hear him running around in the back, I had a lot that I had to do. And it was good. I got a lot of experience, a lot of practice, but I knew that when it was time to go to work, it was time to go to work. Like, I can't be here anymore. But it was fun. I was happy to be able to be home with my son for almost a year. Plus, there were...
Mom, there!
We received a lot of... I think a lot of it, too, was the concern about what other people were going to say at times, right? So...
Not so much from me.
Mm-hmm. Well, I received
other people.
I received a lot of backlash from some relatives. And it was okay. It's, my wife, she has a bachelor's in engineering. She has a master's in counseling psychology. So there was no doubt in my mind that we wouldn't be okay. But yet and still, I understand the importance of me being able to actually be home, to be a stay-at-home father, because that's just how it is. That's how it's established. That's how it's set up sometimes. I didn't have a career. She was making more money. Absolutely fine. it didn't hurt me none, and I'm sure that it didn't necessarily hurt her any for me to be a stay-at-home dad, considering our finances at the time. But I know for sure that she definitely did feel some type of way with me staying home and her having to go back to work, having had a baby. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Just initially, it's hard. I think any parent going back to work, having a newborn, missing them. Mm-hmm. And so feeling as if you're missing out on milestones. Mm-hmm. So I guess speaking specifically for me, it was just, I felt like I was missing milestones.
Yeah. How do we help compensate that, though?
You would come to lunch.
I would.
You would come to lunch nearly every day.
I would send you pictures all day long. I would call you all day
Video
long.
chat, all of that. But I was very fortunate to have a job where you were able to come anytime you wanted at lunch, and I get to spend the whole lunch with you too. So.
$5 lunch. All you can eat too. It's wonderful. Next question is, what blogs have you liked the best?
It would have to be definitely, I don't know if you did a blog on the poop where, did you do a blog on the poop?
Where he pooped everywhere?
Where he pooped everywhere. Now, it was Mother's Day.
I don't know if
he did a blog, but he should have. It was Mother's Day, and I asked for time with him and time away. And so when I was away...
the moment she left... Matter of fact, it was two big things with that day, because that's the day that we decided not to give him a pacifier anymore. Uh-huh. So... I thought I had a fight on that was the day that we decided not to give him a pacifier anymore. So, one, I didn't give him a pacifier. And two, when he woke up in the baby monitor, I'm like, oh, he's just so cute. He's sleeping. And then he wakes up and he's like talking in the monitor and he's playing. And I'm like, I'm doing some homework. He should be fine for a few more minutes. And I go upstairs and you know that, it was poop everywhere in the crib. On his face, on his arms, on the sheets. And I'm a clean freak. So when I seen that, I think I went in complete panic and I called her and I'm like, you need to get home. And she wouldn't come home. She was laughing. She laughed it off the entire time. So she didn't come home until her time was done. So she made me suffer.
Yeah. So I guess it's the one where you realized the amount of work that goes into being a stay-at-home.
But it was actually really good for me because it definitely did help me. Like, I literally created a schedule every single day. And I would say, I know that he's going to be up at this time. I'm going to designate this time to blog. I'm going to designate this time to do homework. I'm going to designate this time to spend with him and do things with him and have fun with him and take care of him. And then it was like a routine every single day. And every day I wrote out a schedule. I remember even being featured on WWMT and they came over and it was like, the moment that they came over, it was like nap time. Or maybe they were waking up for nap. So, but lo and behold, last question is, what are you excited about, if at all, anything about me vlogging?
I love your storytelling. You are a really good writer and just storyteller. You have a way to share a story. So I look forward to documenting our story, our family story. So.
Awesome. Well, thank you all so much for joining. Here we are in another 14-minute video.
Too long.
I know she's going to be super shady about it, as she already is being, but definitely happy that you all took the time to hear about us, meet my wife, my sons, and I definitely hope that you stick around for many, many more stories to come. Thank you all.